Should we think this through?
No, wait, I just need to grab
Go for it.
my paper. Oops, it's recording already.
I don't know if I want to do this.
No, you do. You're already committed, so it's too late.
Okay.
You guys ready?
Sure.
Guess so.
Okay. Hi everyone. I've never done this with people around me. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. I'm Chloe if you don't know me, and today we're gonna be, oh, let me introduce, how rude am I?
So rude.
Introduce yourself.
I'm Kirby Sampson.
And I'm Zeke Wilkerson.
Here are their Instagrams. I'll tag your
Kirby's
Instagrams here. Today we're gonna be filming a video on how we got into the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, because that's obviously where we go. I am gonna say this disclaimer just because I know it has to be said. This is in no way trying to brag or show off our scores or any of the above. It was just really requested, and if you leave a mean comment, it will be deleted and blocked. So don't even try, because I'm on top of that. We kind of have a little layout. We have like our schools we applied to, our scores, extracurriculars, classes. So I guess we're just gonna start. Also, I forgot to mention this. Kirby's from out of state.
Yes, I'm from Tennessee.
Okay, I'm from in-state. I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina.
And I'm from in-state as well. I'm from Forest City, in the middle of nowhere.
Okay. And we all clearly went to kind of different sized high schools.
Yeah.
So this is a good like spread.
You got your notes.
Yeah.
So I'll start. The schools I applied to, and I got into all the schools I applied to, were Chapel Hill, NC State, University of Georgia, University of Florida, University of South Carolina, University of North Carolina at Wilmington, and Clemson.
I applied to Chapel Hill, UVA, UGA, USC, Clemson Honors, the University of Florida, and the University of Miami.
I was applying to 7 schools, and then I actually came here for a visit and like canceled 4 of my applications.
Okay.
So I only applied to UNC Chapel Hill, NC State, and University of South Carolina at Columbia.
Okay, cool. So, class rank, I was top 10% of my class. I know that. I don't remember the exact number that I was, but we had 447 students, I think, give or take a couple. So I was somewhere in the top 10%.
Yeah, I was in the top 10 as well. I don't even think they ranked ours, but they made us put it on the application, so I just kind of guessed. And then we had
My bad.
No, go for it.
521-ish students.
Mm-hmm.
I went to a really small high school, so I only had 177 in my graduating class, and I think at graduation I was 4th.
Oh, wow. Nice job. And now my GPA, mine when I was applying to colleges was a 4.6. It dropped to a 4.5 by the time I graduated, but it was a 4.6 for my applications.
And mine was a 4.0. We didn't weight ours. So
okay, that was
highest
weighted. My unweighted I think was a 3.9. 3.9.
Okay, mine's pretty similar. I had a 4.5 weighted and then a 3.9 unweighted, or around that.
Okay, and then SAT and ACT, I took both of them, but I only sent in my SAT scores, and my SAT was a 1350. I took an ACT once, I think, and I got a 26, and I just didn't even try to take it again because it was harder for me. So kind of just find your strength. Usually you'll like one more than the other. Would you guys agree?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So Kirby?
Yeah, I never even took the SAT, like it wasn't really a thing in Tennessee, but I made a 35 composite on the ACT and then a 36 super score.
Wow. I had a 1260 on the SAT and a 27, I think, on the ACT.
Okay. And then, so one thing that I kind of thought was a big deal when applying here especially was like the classes you took, so like the rigor of your classes. As for just all my normal classes, I took all honors classes and I got A's in all of those. But then I took AP Psych, AP Psychology, AP Microeconomics, AP Macroeconomics, AP Language and Composition, and AP Statistics. And then at the same time, my school offered like a dual enrollment program with my community college. So I did, and those counted as AP classes towards my GPA. Not that I'm getting credit for them here. Well, some of them I am. But I took Art Appreciation, American Government, Biology 101, Accounting 101, and English. And one thing I do want to say is that take advantage of that if your school offers that, because I got out of my lab science, I got out of my art, I got out of my accounting class. I don't know if I'm going to get out of that, but And all of those counted towards my GPA in high school as AP credits.
Yeah, I would for sure say like the rigor is a big thing because like if they're comparing you to someone else and like you've taken all honors and APs and like you have the same ACT as someone who's taken all normal classes, I feel like you probably have a better chance.
Yeah.
For sure.
But I took AP US History, AP Chem, AP US Gov, and then Econ and Micro AP as well, and then AP Bio and AP Calc AB and BC. And then all my others were honors except I dual enrolled in Psych and English senior year.
Mine was a little different. So I took AP US History, AP Government and Politics, AP Calc, AB, AP Psych, and AP Human Geo. And my school also did dual enrollment, so I took advantage of that, and I actually got my associate's degree. So I got 60 credit hours coming in, and like over half my gen eds are out of the way, which
That's
is really
awesome.
nice.
Yeah, that is
And
really
they were
nice.
kind of the same way, like they were weighted the same as an AP class.
Mm-hmm.
And then
So-
one other thing I would probably say is like I took Spanish and Latin, and not that that helps, but I've heard that like they like to see you take either
Yeah.
a higher level in one like foreign language or maybe take a variety if you're gonna do like maybe a whole year in
Right.
Yeah.
or two.
And then also, if we're talking about languages, I took up to Spanish 3, and I just didn't want to go further because I just didn't want to take an AP Spanish because that's pretty tough. But it helps actually learn a lot in those classes because you'll take a placement test, and if you can place out of your Spanish, that's a big deal,
That's a
right?
really big
Kirby's
deal.
taking.
I wish
Yeah,
I
are you
did.
taking a language here right
I'm in
now?
Portuguese, actually.
Yes, and it's hard, right?
Yeah, it's hard.
very hard. So take advantage of your Spanish classes or whatever language classes you take in high school. Now extracurriculars. So I guess I split these up between like school extracurriculars and then outside of school, some things that we did. So for school, I was on varsity volleyball all 4 years, and then I was the captain my senior year. So that was a big leadership thing. One of the leadership things I had was captain of a team. And through that, I did a lot of community service. So I was always working camps and doing private lessons through my coach. And then I was also president of We the People Club, which I was involved in all 4 years. So again, another leadership opportunity for my junior and senior year. And then through that, some of the volunteer stuff I did was I set up a partnership through the club and another organization, and we did a shoe drive. And then I was also in National English Honor Society for 2 years, and then senior year I had a leadership position. And I was in National Honor Society senior year. And through those 2 honor societies, I was doing a lot of community service, which is a big part of college applications.
Yeah, I was on varsity tennis all 4 years, and I was the captain my senior year, along with one other girl, so I guess kind of the co-captain.
Yeah, co-captain. Same with my volleyball.
And then I founded a club called Miles for Meals, which is something that I would say, like, if you can found a club or, like, start something new to where you have your purpose in it, like, leadership is for sure a huge thing that I feel like they like to see.
Yeah.
And so I was the founder and president of that the end of my junior year and then the beginning of my senior, or all through senior year, I guess. And then I was the vice president of Mu Alpha Theta. I competed in FBLA and also in the TMTA competitions, which are like the Tennessee Mathematics Teachers Association thing, where I placed 1st and 7th, I think. And then I was also in Beta Club.
So freshman year, I did JV soccer and football and was captain of soccer. Sophomore, junior, senior year, I did varsity soccer. Was captain senior year. I did tennis all 4 years. Was captain junior, senior year, and then was involved in like our student body stuff and was student body president and just things like that around school, like being involved as much as possible.
Yeah, and one thing I'm kind of noticing, we didn't talk about all the things we did before filming this video, but all of us have some form of consistency here. I don't know if you can tell, like, all 4 years varsity sport, all 4 years varsity sport, all 4 years 3 sports.
Yeah.
So just choosing a couple things and really sticking through that all 4 years, and then just little things that you can pull junior year and then senior year, it all adds up.
And like make an
Definitely
impact in
does.
what you're in, because
Yes.
like when
Yeah.
you're filling
Yeah.
out the application, it'll ask you what part you played in the role or in the club, and you just like want to have your own role within the club.
Yeah, so that's like why I started that partnership with, it was Samaritan's Feet. It was a shoe drive with Samaritan's Feet in my club. because you have to have something to write down that you did that other people didn't if you really want to set yourself apart. Extracurriculars that we did outside of school, I played club volleyball up until senior year, and I was captain of a couple teams, just kind of 1 year off, 1 year on, depending on what club I was at. But that was, again, leadership and consistency. Then I did work, a lot of volunteer work with political campaigns, and that's one thing that I think Chapel Hill really liked, that most people I think don't do, just because you think, oh, I'm young, I can't get involved in politics, but that's something I seriously recommend. And it was just local government, and then I did some national stuff. But even local government is a great opportunity. And then obviously my YouTube, me and my sisters did open shop Barbu, so I had that. And then I coached volleyball for I think 2 years, and I had my own team, so that was again a lot of leadership. And then besides coaching volleyball and getting paid for that, I was at the same time doing like volunteer stuff with camps at through a different person.
And for mine, I needed in the summers, like freshman year through senior year. And then I also started Kirby Southern Creations, which is like a little Etsy monogram business. So
You didn't tell me that!
I thought you knew. I don't know, I guess I just assumed. Yeah, so go check that out. But
I'll link it right here.
Just another thing that like I started and something that I got to expand on, not necessarily my essays, but even when I was writing about it, like seeing that I got to start it and make like a little impact on myself.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Outside of school, one of the things I did it's called the Mayor's Leadership Council in our county.
Oh, yeah.
So like we sort of followed the mayor around and like got involved with the community and stuff. And then I also coached like rec soccer on the weekends and stuff. And then I was involved Young Life. I was a like student leader for that. And then another thing I found out like when applying and stuff is even if you've like had jobs or like held positions at places of work, like they want to see that like you're involved, not like just with your school, but also like having time like to perform well in school while also like doing a job or a hobby.
Yes, definitely. Balance is a huge thing, like just an overall well-rounded person. So I don't think any of us, with the exception of like Kirby's ACT score, but none of us are like truly exceptional in anything. Like a 1350, yeah, that's good for my SAT score, but that's not like unheard of, you know what I mean? Right. The other stuff that kind of makes you a well-rounded person that they're very interested in, I would say, is a big thing in Chapel Hill. And then another thing is essay tips, if you guys have any. I have a couple. The first one would be to avoid a pity party, I think, when you're writing your essay. It's easy to write about divorced parents, death in the family, a disease that you have, especially like I tried to stay away from writing about my Crohn's as much as I could. You do have that big thing that really impacted your life, like one of those 3 sad things. Turn it into, like, spin it one way and talk about like finding the good in it and how it changed you, not just, oh, I tore my ACL in the big game and then I came back and we won the game. Like, do something, like, be unconventional when you're writing your essays and put time into that, because I think that's a big thing, is essays.
Yeah, and I would say also, like, I did write about my Crohn's for it, but I wrote about how it changed me as a person, because I feel like they like to see how you can be put in like a stressful situation, but how you can still make the most out of it, or how you can like use it to better yourself and not only focus on the bad.
I did a similar thing.
I would agree with that. It's one thing I found also, just like talking to people who do go here, like with whenever I was applying, is like they want to get to know you as a person, because like they can look at statistics and everyone has like very similar statistics, but like what is going to set you apart is like your essays and your extracurriculars. So like with the essays, just try and be as personal as possible, and like you said, like
show your personality.
Do something that's not going to be like a pity party, but if you do say something about that, use it as a way to show like how you've turned that into a positive situation,
for sure,
to like bring diversity and experience to the campus.
Yes,
and
definitely.
also like write about stuff that you enjoy. Like if you like don't enjoy what you're writing about, most likely like you're not gonna write a good paper.
No, for sure. And I know like in my papers, I made mine very like conversational, so mine were not like formal in any way. It was more like just me writing a letter to a person with like dialogue in it and just like quirky little like side notes or whatnot.
That's good.
Yeah.
And like get your friends to proofread it as well, like not only
Yes.
like older peers,
Yeah.
because like you don't want someone to read it and be trying to like look in the dictionary
Yeah.
figuring out what this word
Exactly.
means. Like, you want
Yeah.
them to be able to read it and have a fun time while they're reading it as well.
For sure. Any last tips that you guys have, like when applying, or about Chapel Hill, or when applying to Chapel Hill, or just to colleges in general?
Don't procrastinate.
Yeah.
I waited way too long to start working on essays, and so I was like scrambling at the last second, like trying to get it in before like early action deadlines and stuff.
Yes.
So like just kind of pace yourself so that way you have time for people to proofread. And then sort of like what I said, more particularly like UNC, they like to see like a lot of people have a lot of the same statistics and stuff.
Yeah.
Like there's going to be like
your grades aren't going to set you apart
valedictorians.
here.
Yeah, there's going to be like valedictorians, salutatorians, like everything.
Yeah.
So with the extracurriculars, try and be involved, hold positions.
And do things that other people aren't doing,
Yeah.
even if, yeah.
You just set yourself
Yeah.
apart.
Find your edge.
Yeah, and then I would say if you can apply early action, like for sure do.
Yes.
Like finding out sooner is a lot nicer and not having to stress about it.
And like Clemson, for example, I didn't know this, and good thing I didn't end up going to Clemson, but Clemson housing, that Douthit, their like really nice housing facility, was based on, or maybe all of their housing was based on how early you applied to the school. So yeah, I didn't know that until after.
Yeah, somewhere else might have been like that as well.
And
And even like here, like it's kind of like your classes are based not around.
yeah, something like
Yeah.
Because like getting your spot, I don't know how it was here, but
apply early as possible is what we're
Yes.
trying to say. It's seriously worth it. Just because you don't have these stats doesn't mean that you're not going to get in, or just because you have these stats doesn't mean that you're going to get in, that you're going to get in. Just what the school is looking for when you apply, I guess, right?
I would agree with that.
Yeah, and based on gender, race,
That definitely
like
plays a
a
factor.
huge
Yeah.
it's a whole bunch of different things. But I hope this helped. If you guys have any more questions on scores, any advice, I might do like a advice to a high school freshman from a college freshman,
that'd be so
because there's so
hard.
many things that I wish I could go back and like
I would agree.
emphasize or not do differently, but kind of
Or just be told.
just be
Yeah.
There's a lot
told.
that's
Yeah,
not known.
So
definitely.
that you know.
Especially being like the oldest in the family, like
Oh, I
having to
bet
go through
you.
everything first,
Yeah.
so you're kind of clueless.
For sure. So comment if you guys want that. And then again, if you have any more questions, let us know. I'll do my best to answer all of them. Please don't write mean comments. I'm begging you. Like, I was really hesitant to do this video, but I know like I would want this if I was applying to Chapel Hill. So with that being said, thank you guys
Of
for
course.
doing this with me. I hope this gave you guys some more perspectives other than just mine. And I will see you guys next video. Say bye. Bye.